Play this October on HTS. This October, hockey excitement has a new name. The Capitals on HTS. The season opener. The home opener. 7 games in October. The Capitals on HTS. Dazzling scoring ability. A D that stands on its head. Driven by electrifying fans. The Capitals on HTS. Ready to play all October long. HTS in October. There's just no bigger player in sports anywhere. College football, 19 games, and a ton of coaching shows. Capitals hockey, the season opener, and 6 more high-octane games. Plus the pro football shows you want. Steve Buckhand's one-on-one, boxing, tennis, and more. All the sports you want, all October long on HTS. And if you think October is cool, just wait for the Wizards in November on HTS. Ready to play.
There's a place in Cooperstown, New York, where memories come to life.
Way back, it is.
Would you believe that? Well, this guy's in another world.
Where moments become memories. The Baseball Hall of Fame at Cooperstown.
Tonight on Fox Sports News Prime Time. All the games, all the names. No matter where, we are there.
San Francisco,
Philadelphia,
Dallas, New York,
Indianapolis.
Keep going. Catch all the latest on Fox Sports News Prime Time. 10 on the last word. Jim Rome's heating up with epic guests and a whole lot of smack.
It's going to be outstanding.
Fox Sports News Prime Time, followed by the last word tonight after the game.
Pavel Bure and Ray Whitney have sandwiched tallies for Florida around a strike from Washington's youngster, Jan Bulis. After 1 in Florida tonight, the Panthers have a 2-1 advantage right here on HTS. Joe Beninati with you this evening on Home Team Sports, joined by the Washington Capitals Senior Vice President for Business Operations, Declan Bolger, is with us. Declan, this is a building you know quite well. You come to Washington from Florida. They got a lot of energy here.
A lot of energy, a lot of fun, a lot of great memories here from my 6 years here, but I want to beat these guys real bad tonight.
We can tell that, and we can tell that the Caps organization has a lot of great things planned for the coming season.
Yeah, it all kicks off next Saturday, our home opener against the LA Kings. Puck drops at 7 o'clock, pregame show, which is one of the best the area will see. Will start at 6:30, so be in your seats by then. At 2 o'clock that night, we're turning the whole of F Street into a hockey theme park. 3 bands, interactive games, open to the public, so get down early, avoid the traffic, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. It's going to be a great day.
Declan, you and I have had a chance to speak with the ownership group, the new ownership group, headed by Ted Leonsis. You obviously more than me. This is someone who's a tremendous innovator, and I think the fans are in for a wonderful season.
Well, we've already seen that. Ted is very, very dynamic, as is John and Dick, on wanting to make changes, be they subtle changes from the goal horn to the new organ, the new video presentation, making a whole event very fan-centric. You've seen what Ted has done online, and today we debuted our new website, www.washingtoncaps.com, and it has been unbelievable response from fans and from the media.
It's a mouthful, isn't it, that website? The website is also a tremendous source of information for us as announcers, but for fans, it's got to be a dream.
It is, and it's very different from any other site that you've seen in that it is not just club propaganda. There's information from links to other sites. Anything you want to know about hockey, go to www.washingtoncaps.com.
Declan, thanks so much for joining us. We very much look forward to working with you and the Caps this season.
Thanks, Phil.
That is Declan Bolger, the Senior Vice President for Business Operations for the Washington Capitals. The Caps and the Panthers opening the season for 1999 and 2000. After 1, Panthers by 1. Craig Reed joins me on the other side of the break. We've got highlights for you right after this.
At Mike Himes Lexus of Annapolis, drive home a certified pre-owned Lexus and enjoy the quality, luxury, comfort, prestige, and peace of mind you've always wanted at a price you can afford. At Lexus of Annapolis, every certified pre-owned Lexus comes with a 3-year, 100,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. Plus, every Lexus of Annapolis customer receives award-winning service with complimentary car washes for the life of the vehicle, and the first scheduled maintenance absolutely free. You can afford to have it all. A certified pre-owned Lexus from Mike Himes Lexus of Annapolis, just off Route 50 on Riva Road in Annapolis.
1 on time. One of the ultimate challengers, no matter what the sport. And now, the best in the business goes one-on-one with some of the biggest names in sports. Classic Settlements presents One-on-One with Steve Buckhantz, only on HTS. No evasive maneuvers, no company lines, because this is one-on-one. Classic Settlements presents One-on-One with Steve Buckhantz, premiering Monday, October 4th at 8:30, only on HTS.
Guy's low, the lowest.
I'm Bob Bell, and I am the lowest guy in town.
Bob Bell Nissan. Special incentives up to $2,500 paid to purchasers. Discounts to $5,000. No money down. Bob Bell Nissan, the lowest guy in town.
The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. For 3 decades, MEAC has been the conference where both academic and athletic excellence thrive. The MEAC colleges and universities, together striving to unlock the highest academic and athletic potential for students in the region and beyond. The U.S. Postal Service and HTS throughout the 90s, partnering with MEAC in the pursuit of excellence, innovation, tradition. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. The sky is the limit.
There's a place in Cooperstown, New York, where memories come to life.
It's 7:15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
Captain, number 7 is in the book. The remarkable Ryan has done it again. Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Where moments become memories, the Baseball Hall of Fame at Cooperstown.
Your home for Capitals hockey. HTS, ready to play.
Play ball! The season's in full swing. Join Steve Sachs and Kevin Kennedy for baseball coverage all season long. Catch Fox Sports News Primetime, nightly at 10.
2 hockey teams in the NHL who wanted to open up their offensive game this 1999-2000 season. They've opened the year with an offensive burst. It is the Florida Panthers in front 2-1 after 1. Joe Beninati joined by Craig Laughlin. Craig, I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill here. It's only the first period of the season. 81 more games to go. But Washington wanted to play better in the first period this season. Did they do it so far tonight?
They did it in spurts. I thought last season, when they were outscored 66-43, they didn't get off to the good start. Tonight I see a little different change. What they did is they cycled extremely well, and because of that, they got a goal out of that. They've got to keep the puck in deep. Some of these defensemen for Florida are not very mobile. If you get on them, you're going to create chances by going to the net.
You mentioned mobility. The guy who heads the goal-scoring list to start the spring in the first period is about as mobile as they come. Pavel Bure got Florida on the board.
Yeah, it started Whitney to spot check over to Svela, and he just rifles it at the net. Not a very hard shot, but Bure with his quickness comes across, gets a chunk, deflection pass Colton.
You'd assume the first of many. Bure at 3:28 on the power play from Svela and spot check.
But then the Capitals answered with great forechecking. Riki keeps it in. Watch Konowalczyk take a heavy hit lower right corner, gets the puck. Boulis in perfect position, drives to the open seam and buries it.
Only took the Caps 2 minutes and 24 seconds to respond. Boulis is first from Konowalczyk and Riki, but Whitney sends Florida to the lead.
And it's a defensive breakdown. Nicolishin gets on the wrong side of Parrish. He goes to the net. Kavasha picks it up, throws it across, and Whitney on the doorstep, backhander into the open net.
The former Edmonton Oilers stick boy has turned out to be a pretty good NHL player. Ray Whitney's first of the year gives Florida a 2-1 lead after the opening 20 minutes. We will have period number 2 coming up for you in just a few moments when you rejoin us on HTS in Sunrise, Florida tonight. National Car Rental Center. The fans get back in their seats. You get in yours for period number 2 next.
That works.
Sports in tomorrow's Washington Post.
You change your oil every 3,000 miles, right? No, do you? You push it. Now you're so busy you try to squeeze another 1,000 miles out of your oil. Or more. Well, squeeze this. Just to do it yourself when you have the time. Reformulated Quaker Stay. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Anybody say insurance? It's been tested. And unlike that lazy uncle nobody really likes to talk about, it works. So go get some. Quaker Stay. Sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Hey, Doug, it's Chris. I'd just like to thank you for telling me to buy that crappy computer. Why don't you come over and fix it, you son of a...
Top news, top traffic, top weather, non-stop. Start your day with WTOP. Now heard on 107.7 FM, 1500 AM.
3 big nights at Rosecroft. Thursday, October 7th, 8 lucky fans will each win 10% of a racehorse and its winnings for the rest of the season. Friday, October 8th, Las Vegas giveaway night. It's a Vegas theme night with music and chances to win an all-out Vegas vacation. Saturday, October 9th, it's the $400,000 Maryland Showcase of Champions. The best of the best will battle it out in 8 Maryland Sire Stakes Championship finals. The Maryland Showcase of Champions at Rosecroft Raceway, Saturday, October 9th. 3 big nights in October at Rosecroft.
Got a family? You need to communicate. So we're going to help you out with Cellular One's Digital Edge family plans. They're great. One bill for up to 4 mobile phones, plus free phone-to-phone service. Call each other as much as you want for free. First 2 phones, $29.99 a month. Next 2, just $14.99 a month each. The more phones you get, the more you save. You get included minutes and free select mail, so you never miss a call. Cellular One's Digital Edge family plans. Start communicating with your family and save.
The season's in full swing. Join Steve Sachs and Kevin Kennedy for baseball coverage all season long. Catch Fox Sports News Primetime, nightly at 10.
Technology coverage in tomorrow's Washington Post.
HTS coverage of Washington Capitals hockey this evening is being brought to you by Dodge. Do not follow, do not conform, be different. And by Cellular One. National Car Rental Center in Sunrise, Florida is the venue tonight for the NHL opener for both the Washington Capitals and the Florida Panthers. And it is the Panthers who have the better of the visiting Caps tonight by 1 after 20 minutes as we get set for period number 2. Craig, why don't we have the numbers from period number 1?
Here we take a look. Shots on goal favor the Caps by a pair, 14-12. Scoring chances by a pair, 7-5. Face-offs, domination in the circles, 18-6. That's one area the Panthers have to clean up on. Power plays, the Panthers 1 for 2. Power play shots, 5 combined between the two clubs.
As the Caps and Panthers meet for the first of 3 consecutive meetings here on home ice for Florida. The first 3 games of the 5-game season set are right here at the National Car Rental Center. Back in early December will Ole Kolzig be, as well as mid-January before the Caps have 2 dates at MCI Center. The Southeast Division, everybody's been kicking it, thinking that it's the weakest division in the NHL. The Caps, the Panthers, the Hurricanes, the Thrashers, and the Lightning hope to prove otherwise, don't they?
I think the 2 teams they're missing on is Atlanta and Tampa. I think they're going to upset a few teams this season. However, I don't think they're going to be in the mix for the playoffs, but definitely Carolina. Carolina beat the Capitals twice during the preseason. If they don't get Big K Train back, they're going to be in trouble. Big Keith Primo.
Yeah, that's an important point to mention for the Carolina Hurricanes. Fans, the coolest game on earth is back with the Washington Capitals. Don't miss the season home opener Saturday, October the 9th. Los Angeles Kings are in town. All fans attending this game will receive a Capitals lapel pin, courtesy of Amtrak. Call Ticketmaster now for great seats. Washington Capitals hockey, it's always intense.
Great pin, Joe. Always an intense pin. Awesome. Jan Bulis there on the bench. We get to look back at that goal once again. Look at Cano take that hit by Pitlick, pick up the puck, throw it in front. Bulis coming to the net. There it is. That's caused by Cano Walchuk. Good patience with the puck. Zednik going to the net. And Bowie being the third man, Joe. Stepping in at the right time to the seam. Cano Walchuk feathers it. He buries it. That gave the Caps a goal in the first period.
And when we resume play here in the second period, Jan Bulis and friends will be a man to the good. A 5-on-4 power play for the remaining 42 seconds of a late Panther power play, or rather late Panther penalty in the first period issued to John Jacopin. There is Mr. Jacopin as Oates and Niedermeyer meet for the second period starting draw. Florida controls and Shvela clears. 2-1 Panthers. Sergei Gonchar looking to change that. Metropolitan fanned on the dump in. He was tangled up with Dvorak from behind. Gonchar will reset things. Bondra deals for Glenn Metropolitan. Now Adam Oates. That hesitation, open pivot move on Svela. Svela's seen that a time or two, defended it well. Ole Kolzig will tee it up, just 8 ticks left in the Washington power play. Dmitry Mironov. Rink wide to Bondra. Bure stepped in his way, 2-on-2. Back comes Stewart with a wrister that dipped wide. Bondra leaves. Gonchar sending in Metropolitan. Drag pass, Oates, right back to the rookie. Metropolitan to the front. Bondra just jammed it wide. Oates settles, plays the corner. Back, even strength, 5-a-side are we. Bondra to Metropolitan. Metropolitan worked over there by the Panther captain, Scott Mellenby. Fred Hedekin flicks. Pavel Bure deals it back into the Washington defensive end. Klee hammers it on along. Steve Konowalchuk, who assisted on the Caps tally back in the first, sends in. Just 90 seconds old in the second period. Florida in front by 1. Collected by Boulis. Feathered for Konowalchuk, snared by Bure, lassoed there by Boulis, and the referee Stewart says play on. Mellenby captures for Florida. Bure, one hand on the stick. Dodging Zednik. Spins on that pinwheel. Simpson towards the cage. Ken Klee protecting the front. Sends it the length, and this should be icing against Washington as the touch-up is made by John Jacobin. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin with you tonight on HDS. We are joined now by the majority owner of the Washington Capitals, Mr. Ted Leonsis. And Ted, it is obviously our pleasure to welcome you. Your team is trailing by 1, but you're still beaming with all the pride and enthusiasm we would expect.
I think that's more nerves than enthusiasm.
At least you're honest, too.
Thank God there's 3 periods in the game, and I went back before the game started, talked to Wilson, touched some of the players and put $1,000 up on the board and said, okay, this is for the winning goal. So I hope I'm $1,000 poor at the end of the game.
How's the chat room been going?
Hey, that worked really well. We had a couple hundred people in and out, and very interactive. I did it for the whole first quarter.
So you were typing for the whole first period?
I was. My wife wasn't very happy with me.
I was going to say.
My guests weren't, so.
I would imagine I was staying as Sean Burke covers up to force a face-off in the defensive zone. I would imagine this is quite a social event for you, too, and if you're going to be busy typing, well...
basically the fans who care and go into the chat room, they deserve to have my attention, and now, after I deal with you guys, I'll spend the next couple of periods shaking hands and meeting other people.
What sort of goals did you set for the organization this year?
One, I really want the guys to play like our advertising tagline, always intense. I want the level of play and the level of intensity strong, and I would be happy if we made the playoffs. If you make the playoffs, you can win the Stanley Cup. So that's what we're shooting for.
As we promote the new Washington Capitals website, www.washingtoncaps.com. Ted, you've had a chance to meet all the players. You know the coaching staff very, very well. You have to be extremely impressed with your head coach, Ron Wilson.
Yeah, he's a class act, really knows what he's doing, has the attention of all the players, and treats all the players individually, which I like. He knows which guys to ride. He knows which guys to let play their own game. So, yeah, we have a real winner in that guy.
Dmitry Mironov, Craig testing Sean Burke. We are early on in the second period, 2-1 Florida.
I've been talking to a lot of people, Ted, and the big thing is you guys are going to be very creative with game night presentation and really get the fans involved. And
yeah, I think...
What sort of things are you going to be doing?
We're going to try to own the city next Saturday. We'll essentially...
As Ray Whitney tallies his second goal of the night for the Florida Panthers, and the Panthers fans salute a 3-1 lead.
That was a rink-wide pass, Joe. The Panthers created a 2-on-1 in the neutral zone, and Whitney, with his second open net goal of the game, puts it into the back of the net. Whitney is a strong skater, not very big, but he goes hard to the net as he picks up his second goal. Here it starts right in the zone. A little flip pass, gets past the 3 Capitals defenders. They can't get it in. There's the strip of the puck. That's got to get in. Now it's a 3-on-2, and there's Whitney beating the back checker for a tap-in pass to the goaltender, Ole Kolzig. Big play right there by Parrish, rink wide, before Dmitry Mironov can catch Whitney speeding to the net.
So after Jan Bulis tied things early on in the first period at 1, Florida has put up the last 2 in succession. Ray Whitney with a pair. His first and second on the season. This one at 2:59 of period 2. And Mark Parrish was again the primary reason why. Glenn Metropolit taps it to center. Peter Bondra on the run. Stopped there by the defensive Yaroslav Spacek. Huge hit in the neutral zone as Ken Klee powers up on Cam Stewart.
Let's go back and talk about capturing the city.
Well, basically for opening night, we want to get the fans excited. We hope we play well and win that night, but to entertain them, we're going to shut down the streets starting at 2 o'clock. Lots of rock and roll bands, lots of magicians and face painters. Make it a big family day. And 6:30, people better be in their seats because it'll be very entertaining. And when we drop the puck, I think people will see that it's a new era for the Washington Capitals.
Ted, we know that you are a huge sports fan. You've had a chance to check out a number of venues, crossing over from sport to sport to sport. You love the energy and the electricity inside the building, and that's something you're looking to convey at MCI Center.
Very much so. We're lucky. I think MCI Arena is probably the best new arena in the league. You know, the area's growing like crazy, and there's no reason why we can't be the exemplary franchise in the whole league. I think it's possible within our powers. We're going to try to do.
Adam Oates tapping it back. Caps trailing by 2. Oates and Bondra on ice together along with the rookie Glenn Metropolit. 3-1 Florida as we are now just 4 minutes old in the second period. Bondra revving it back up. Hits the brakes. Looks to unload that drive. Sets it for Metropolit. And again, the Panther defense well positioned in the form of Lance Pitlick. Even strength, 5-a-side we go. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin, and Ted Leonsis joining you here for the early portion of the second period. Hedekin jams back to center, where Gonchar will play. As Riki sends it along, Bondra will send it in. All those names that we've just mentioned there, Ted, you can see the global nature of the NHL, and obviously the internet is global as the Panthers charge ahead. Good defense turned in by Russian-born Dmitry Mironov. You want to expose this great game throughout the land.
Yeah, I think there's only 28 markets that have hockey teams. There's 220 markets in the country, and you've got all of Europe and Asia. We have, great teams, and so I don't see any reason why we can't use the internet to bring our players around the world, and especially when you have such an international sport and the international lineup, I think we're able to do that.
Ted, do owners ever play favorites? Who's your favorite?
My wife and kids.
Ah, there we go. Beautifully done.
Are you always going to be accessible this season?
I'm always going to be accessible. I think that this is a public trust, and that you should have fun with this. You can't have fun owning a sports team. You can't have fun, and so I'll hang around as long as the fans want me to.
Tough hit there on an icing call as we have a gathering back behind Ole Kolzig. It's a 3-1 Florida advantage. Brendan Witt right in the middle of that with Paul Laws. Two rather tough customers, and down go the gloves.
Well, Paul Laws has led this team most of the last seasons he's played here. He's real tough, as is Brendan Witt, who really made his mark, I thought, Joe, in the preseason, fighting some of the heavyweights and really getting the respect around the league.
That's the primary bout. Simpson and Mironov are also tangled as Laws is trying to switch hands and uppercut. Brendan Witt fires back with a left of his own. As the linesmen get in there, Gord Brassiger and Pierre Assico to separate the two combatants. Florida energized with a 3-1 lead early on in the second period as we continue to chat with Capitals majority owner Ted Leonsis. Ted, you want the fans to be able to, well, A, choose the choice of a season ticket, but also, if not, to try the 10-game ticket plan, a chance to pick some of the Caps' primary opponents.
No, I'm not proud. I'll have buy one ticket. Seriously, if this is a public trust, and we're going to do everything to bring make it easier for fans to come to the game. Frankly, you can buy season tickets now upstairs, $10 a ticket, cheaper than a pastrami sandwich at the U.S. Open in New York. So we're certainly removing all of the impediments of why people don't want to come to the game.
Caps coach Ron Wilson looking on, an interested bystander as referee Paul Stewart doles out the penalties. Ted, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you a Fuller ownership, headed up by Mr. Abe Poland. He did a wonderful job, and he left you with a product, I think, that is in very, very good form.
Yeah, Abe is a real class act and a great man, and really I hope we can be as successful as he's been. You know, we look at things a little bit differently in that I'm more interactive and, you know, understand the internet, but in his day he was considered one of the great entrepreneurs, and he still is. So I think we'll learn a lot from Mr. Poland. The great thing about him is he'll actually learn a little bit from us, especially when it comes to new media and the like. And so I think it's going to be a great partnership, and I'm flattered that he invited us into his company.
You've got some wonderful ad campaigns coming out. You've got a great producer coming in to work with the players, and that's going to be a great splash.
We hired a new ad agency, Hill Holiday. They just brought in a director named Doug Lyman, who directed the movie Swingers, but also does all the Sony PlayStation ads and that great Tiger Woods ad where he's bouncing the ball on the club.
That's a great one.
So he's going to shoot them October 13th and 14th, and you'll see them everywhere.
Laws and Witt got matching majors for fighting. Paul Laws was hit additionally with a 2-minute minor for boarding. So Washington goes a man to the good for the second time this evening, trailing by 2.
That was the right time for Brendan Witt to establish something and get in a fight there, Joe. What he did, he saw the game switching in Panthers' favor to take a fight there and to draw the penalty. Great job by Brendan Witt giving the Capitals the extra man here.
Now Washington looks to answer offensively. Peter Bondra scurries away from the check of Yaroslav Spacek. Bondra sets up shop. Oates camped out in the deep slot. Bondra whistles one over the head of the netminder Burke. It caromed off the glass and out of play.
Hard shot from Peter Bondra. 31 goals last year. Bonsai's got to hit the net there. He's saying got redirected. Talking to the official and the linesman. Here it is. They're setting up the umbrella power play, and they want to be real strong on the half court this season. There's Bondra stepping in. Chunk of the stick of the forward got a piece of it, knocked it up and over the glass. Bonsai's got to shoot the puck a ton this year. We take a look against Florida. He's owned this team. 17 career goals. Only Lindros of Philadelphia has any of those type of totals. He also, too, has 17.
Ted Leonsis, Peter Bondra is the NHL's fastest man. He's a marquee player in Washington, and I know that the ownership and the management wants to promote Bondra as such, and Kolzig, and Oates, and on down the list.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of stars. I mean, Peter's a really great player and also a really good man. Very shy and unassuming, and we want to give him his due. Explain to people he's one of the great athletes in the NHL and certainly one of the best goal scorers. So, in fact, you'd almost have to say he's been the most consistent and best performer in Washington across all the sports over the last 5 years. So he needs to get his due, and I think he'll be appreciative of what we do with him.
And another of Washington's rising stars works the power play point here for the Caps. Sergei Gonchar partnered with Dmitry Mironov. Gonchar with it now. 13 of his 21 tallies a season ago came with a manpower advantage as the Panthers spoil that. Bure sends it to length. As Mironov swings, 13:45 to go in the second period. If you're just tuning in with us on HDS, the Panthers have a 3-1 advantage. Oates plays it cross corner. Metropolitan beaten to it by Lance Pitlick. Pitlick, a formidable defensive presence, isn't he, Craig?
He certainly is. The big guy that they signed as a free agent, Joe. I like his story because he had to spend 5 years in the minors trying to make it to the NHL, and I guess you could say he got a big payday this summer signing as a free agent from the Ottawa Senators.
I was going to say, we're seated next to somebody who's primarily responsible for making payments. Lance Pitlick, $525,000 last year. He turned in a 3-year deal now for over $5 million. As the Caps work on the power play.
Yeah.
Joe Hudson fires and scores. And Ted Leonsis has the biggest yeah in the booth.
All right.
That's a great play. Great power play.
That was a good power, well executed.
Yeah, and the shot, you got to shoot the puck. Kelly Johansson, one of the best at the blue line of that one-timer, and he blew it past Sean Burke. And this is where the new rule this year, Joe, really comes into play because the Capitals had a man in the crease. Last year, this goal would not have been allowed. Here's the shot. Look at the screen right there in front. Coming through was Yogi Sveikovsky. He got the air of the goaltender in our Timebridge Technologies top shot. Look at Yogi come through right there. Burke was upset, went to the referee. He said, no way, it's a goal. Caps are back in this hockey game. Wonderful power play. Great shot by Kelly Johansson.
Johansson with a BB to the far post just a little less than 7 minutes into the second period. The Caps back within one. Ted, where I was going with my statement was, how do you feel, how do you sit with the salary structures in the NHL?
You know, everyone complains, and I'm not a whiner. I think that we need to find more revenue streams, and I want the players to like and respect what ownership's trying to do. And so right now, I think we have good relationships with our players. One of the great things about the NHL is that we don't have to do anything. The way the collective bargaining agreement is written, you can decide you want to pay what you want to pay. So it cuts both ways, and I think you're seeing that this year with the free agents and the signings. You know, basically business is taken over, and people are saying if you can't make money, you don't have the revenues, you can't pay those kind of salaries. So, you know, I think it does swing both ways, and this year I think that management is trying to make more sense out of the business.
Caps with a steal. Gonchar looking to get this game tied. Wrist shot through a screen deflected by Halpern, who was right there on the doorstep, and Burke beat him with a goal stick. 3-2. Florida has the advantage. Kozlov revving it up 2-on-2. Victor Kozlov hits the brakes, loses his footing, and back comes Potomac, Maryland's Jeff Halpern with Chris Simon. Drop pass, trailing Sacco back in. Halpern to the front. Had Burke down, but couldn't put it over the fallen 6'4" netminder.
Everybody likes Halpern. He's really had a good preseason, and I think he's going to be a fan favorite locally.
Right from the Ivy League, playing with the Princeton Tigers, right to the NHL. Ron Wilson, George McPhee put him right on the first line to start things, and Jeff Halpern hasn't moved and budged from that spot throughout the training camp. 3-2, Panthers have the advantage, 11:24 to go in the second period. Ted, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck to you in the Caps.
My pleasure. Go Caps.
Thanks very much.
We all do dumb things. Paying too much for car insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. We all do dumb things. Paying too much for car insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
After years of perfecting silence, we're ready to make some noise. The future of Lexus is here.
At Mike Himes, Lexus of Annapolis.
Panthers up 3-2 over the Washington Capitals. Capitals back in the game because of a Calle Johansson laser beam on the power play, Joe. Capitals got to take advantage of that. Now get some momentum going their way. They've got to forecheck more aggressively, get the puck in deep. 2 of the goals tonight have been caused by the Capitals not getting the puck in deep to establish their forecheck.
Again, our thanks to Washington Capitals majority owner Ted Leonsis for joining us in the early portion of the second period. We should make up some bookkeeping with you. Ray Whitney made it 3-1 for Florida from Parrish and Kavasha. Calle Johansson just tallying at the 6:58 mark of the second period from Nikolic and Gonchar on the power play. That brings us to where we stand. 3-2 Florida. Offside Panthers on the attack as we get our first installment of this 99-2000 season of the New Dodge Trivia. Fans, we ask you what 3 Washington players have recorded at least 10 hat tricks in a Capitals uniform.
Gotta think of old number 11.
The first 2 are tied at the very top. If I make myself clear, the leaders...
I would think number 11 and an old guy from 81 who scored 60 goals.
Okay.
That's my 2 guys. That's a little
I would imagine
hint out there.
Sure, you've whet the appetite for the fans who are thinking along. I think the first 2 are rather simple to guess. One of them is on the ice right now, in fact, for Washington. 10.5 minutes to go, second period. Washington trails by 1. Joe Ricci with a puck for the Caps. Plays it on through Metropolitan. Adam Oates is onside. Oates behind the defensive Pitlick. Metropolitan pivots away. Deep slot Bondra. Shanked that one. That was a tough one-timer as he was falling away. Easy pickings for Sean Burke.
But again, the Capitals in that triangle formation, what they want to do, Joe, this year is attack similar to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They want to activate their D. They want to create a triangle between the third man into the zone, the 2D, plus the third man and the two guys going to the net. Therefore, you have too many triangles set up. Peter Bondra in that high triangle position on that last play for Coach Ron Wilson, and Timmy Hunter on the right side just couldn't get the handle on that biscuit to blast her home. But Peter Bondra, when he gets the puck, he's a targeted man. You take a look at last season's statistics.
Craig, the coaches were telling us they love the tempo in training camp and in the preseason games. How do you see it so far tonight?
I think it's slowed down a little bit. I think both teams are really trapping in the neutral zone, making passes tough to make. Therefore, not springing the guys. We haven't seen a whole lot of Pavel Bure. He usually gets one or two breakaways a game. Bondra usually gets a breakaway or a great opportunity. They've played very close to the vest. It's going to come down. Special teams will win it for either team tonight.
Bure got the scoring started for Florida. Power play deflection back in the first. Whitney with the pair. And Johansson and Boulis on the board for Washington. More than halfway through regulation time of this game as Bondra flicks it into the Panther zone. Victor Kozlov with Mellenby and Bure. Bure 2-on-1. Bure closing. Fakes the blast. Wrist shot. The puck came up on edge and foiled the sniper for the Panthers. And to end, Sergei Gonchar's turn. Gonchar drifts in across the line, leaves it. Bondra with a blazer right to the midsection of Sean Burke.
I don't think either team's going to like what transpired there. Caps and the Panthers exchanging chances. We got to step aside. The Caps trailing by 1 here on HTS.
At the Big Screen Store, we'll turn any room into a great home theater. We're the area's only exclusive Mitsubishi Big Screen Store with your choice of surround sound systems and customized entertainment centers for that built-in look. Best of all, they're all in stock with 1 year same-as-cash financing. So why wait? Go ahead. Do the room at the Big Screen Store.
They were pioneers, discovering new worlds. Now the pioneers are once again discovering a new world. A world of websites, of high-speed internet connections, and incredible access to information. That's what VERIO is all about. We are the pioneers of the internet, discovering new, faster ways to communicate, helping businesses around the world conquer the new world. VERIO, the new world of business.
Washington, D.C., the most powerful place on the face of the planet. And this October, the area becomes even stronger with the power in college football. ACC football, live on HTS. On any given Saturday, the top teams, your hometown favorites, fierce rivalries, playing for pole position and pride. The most powerful city now has the most powerful college football anywhere. ACC football, ready to play this October on HTS.
Indeed, Craig Lachlan, Washington has wrestled the flow of play away from the Florida Panthers. The Panthers have been held without a shot on goal over the last 7 minutes. Washington has wormed its way back within one at 3-2. 9 minutes, 28 seconds to go in the second frame tonight. Face-off control by Chris Wells for the Florida Panthers as he beat Andre Nikolitin there to the draw. Ken Klee comes over to capture, tumbles it back to center. Hedekin threw it right into the linesman, one of them tonight, Pierre Rasico. Mark Parrish settles. Ray Whitney, who's been a goal-scoring hero tonight, angling in on Klee. Johansson got there first, turned it away from Parrish, snared by James Black. Caps will reverse it in the defensive zone. Johansson. Black will golf it past Pitlick all the way to the Florida line. Johansson playing catch with his D partner Ken Klee. Klee now into his 8th full professional season. Looking to spring Svejkovsky. Round and round he goes with John Jacobin and roughly into the end boards. Svejkovsky spins right into the double team. Halpern muzzled there by Kavasha. Ricci pinching, puts a hold onto Parrish. Fans here wanted a penalty on Joe Ricci. Referee Paul Stewart says no. Jacopin on through. Simpson from glove to stick. Leaves it along for Parrish. Bottled up well there once more by Ricci. Jacopin waits for the team to complete a line change and sends Sergei Gonchar packing into the Washington zone. Gonchar, 25 years of age. Russian-born standout. Sweeps it ahead through Joe Sacco. Svela with Spacek. And the Panthers begin the breakout. Bure sets sail down the wing. Bure trying to skip one to the slot. Blocked off by Witt. Bure got it back and rang the iron. Lightning quick release by Pavel Bure, and he hit the goal post.
The Rocket can certainly shoot that biscuit. Great set of hands from the Russian Rocket, Joe. Just picked up that loose puck and ripped it top shelf. Here's a look at it. He tries to feather the pass through the defenseman's leg right there. Hits Witter's foot, and watch him pick it up here. And boom, short side, off the pipe and off the other side. Great shot by Pavel Bure. One more look. Speed wide, tries to throw it through to the man going to the net, picks it up, and look at that shot. Very similar to the shot we saw at the top of the show, Joe, where we looked at 3 of his goals. He ripped one past Patrick Waugh. He gets the goal, he's leaning a little bit, and shoots it short side.
You mentioned him as the Russian Rocket. He's got to be one of the leading candidates for the Rocket Richard Trophy, right?
Absolutely. Nobody last year had over 50 goals. I think we're going to see a couple this season that pass that plateau, and he certainly has to be right up there, along with the Caps' Peter Bondra.
And Anaheim's Teemu Selanne, who was the NHL goal-scoring champion.
I think we forgot Yager, too.
He can play a little bit. Mellenby, thumped there by Konowalchuk. Jaromir Jagr and friends, the Pittsburgh Penguins, got their NHL season off last night on a losing note in Dallas. Tonight, the Caps and Panthers are 1 of 12 around the NHL this Saturday evening. Under 7 minutes to go in the second period. 3-2 Florida. Boulis measured by Kozlov. Victor Kozlov, 6'5" tall, 5th-year pro. So much potential and talent. Working with Mellenby and Bure. Boulis gathers in. Leaves for Klee. 70-footer, well wide. Svela, Boulis, and Metropolitan. And now for Ron Wilson as the Caps are in the middle of a line change. Svela skips it beyond the grasp of Mellenby. Gonchar, bad clearing attempt. Kozlov on the steal. Kozlov with a backhander. Stopped by Kolzig. Bure, lightning quick again to the rebound. Deep slot, Kozlov, back to Bure. Not able to stick handle through Glenn Metropolitan. Metropolitan with Oates. Oates working at the line. He was bothered by Cam Stewart. Stewart was dropped in his tracks by Joe Ricci. Right in front of the referee, Paul Stewart, and that means Washington's a man down. The Florida Panthers will be playing 5-on-4, a man to the good, looking to build on a 3-2 lead when you're back on HTS.
Got a family? You need to communicate. So we're going to help you out with Cellular One's Digital Edge family plans. They're great. One bill for up to 4 mobile phones, plus free phone-to-phone service. Call each other as much as you want for free. First 2 phones, $29.99 a month. Next 2, just $14.99 a month each. The more phones you get, the more you save. You get included minutes and free select mail, so you never miss a call. Cellular One's Digital Edge family plans. Start communicating with your family and save.
Hey, what's it going to take to get you to buy this computer today, huh? Come here. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'll upgrade your Sims to DIMMs, no charge. You'll even throw in a SCSI card. See, I ain't that mouse pad. You want the mouse pad? 100% pure real neoprene. Come on, let me talk to you.
You'll never meet a guy who is lower.
I'm Bob Bell, and I am the lowest guy in town.
Bob Bell Ford Hyundai and Glen Burnie saves you more with as low as 0.9% financing, up to $2,000 rebates, and huge discounts. Now, come see the all-new Focus for 2000 and the brand-new Ford Excursion.
You know you'll get the best price in the metro area because I'll be in the advertised price. Bring us the ad, we'll beat the price. I'm Bob Bell, and I guarantee it.
Bob Bell Ford Hyundai, Ritchie Highway, Glen Burnie.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield, even to yourself,
His nickname is Mini Cam because he played in Boston with Cam Neely. Not very big, but plays the same way. There he draws a penalty. Joe Ricci up, ends Cam Stewart. Ricci in the box. The Panthers on their power play.
Washington captain Adam Oates, Craig Laughlin, played quite a bit on a line with Cam Stewart, the Mini Cam, when they were teammates together in the Hub in Boston, Mass.
He's just been devastated with injuries. He's played the last couple of seasons in the IHL, and he's just fortunate, I think, to come back at 28 years of age after having numerous injuries, and he's still sticking around at a great training camp, and it's just what the doctor ordered for this Florida Panther team, Joe. He provides a lot of energy.
As we carry on here in the second period with Florida in front of Washington 3-2, and the Panthers working here on the power play. Halpern, nice dish. Sacco's away. Sacco sizzles one high and wide on Sean Burke. Back on the Panthers, Rob Niedermeyer floats it to the wing for Radek Dvorak, spills it to the front. Good poke check. Nice anticipation there by Kolzig. Parrish parked back behind the Washington net. Niedermeyer skips away from a defender. Svela, midpoint, spot check, through a screen, another deflection wide on Kolzig's stick side. And Brendan Witt, looking to clear, flails it into the spectator seats.
Well, Witter knew he was on his backhand, Joe, and he couldn't get enough of the lumber on the puck to fire it hard around out of the zone, so he did the right thing. Got that backhander up and over the glass that allows the Capitals to regroup. One thing Witter's done this season, Joe, is become very, very knowledgeable at how to read the plays, and that's what he's done extremely well in training camp. He knows he has to be one of the leaders, and he knows he has to be a physical force. When he's not physical, he's not a force on the ice. He's going to try to have that consistency this season.
In a penalty-killing role for the moment is Brendan Witt. Oates and Kozlov on the draw. Florida has possession. Whitney, nice relay. Kozlov slips it 5-hole on Kolzig. He scores. Victor Kozlov on a power play strike.
Well, they got the puck down low immediately off the face-off, and Victor Kozlov has a great reach. And what happened was when he looked over to Bure, that forced Kolzig to open up. Here it is off the draw. They haven't won many, but they get support of the wingers. Here it is, goes down to Kozlov. Bure on the left side tries to fire it across. It might have caught a chunk of Brendan Witt's leg and went in. Here's a look. And there it is, right through Brendan Witt, right through the 5-hole. A look at our Timebridge Technologies top shot. Skonchar got caught up too high. That left a 2-on-1 down low. Bure might have taken some of the action, made Kolzig shift a little bit. Victor Kozlov on the power play, his first of the year.
Double 5-hole. 5-hole Brendan Witt and Ole Kolzig. Jan Bulis sprinting after a loose puck. Florida has the advantage. Once again, building it back to a 2-goal bulge, 4-2.
Then that's the 10-hole.
That's right, add him up. Zednik wrestling with Brett Hedekin. Zednik so powerful on his skates. Konowalchuk pivots. Hedekin recovers. Bulis looking to sneak out of the corner. Jan Bulis for Richard Zednik. Zednik fanned as he was bumped by Pitlick. Johansson's long-range blast was blocked, and it'll be Scott Mellanby looking for a little timing play with Bure, a bit too far. Icing could be the call here against Florida, and the linesmen agree, Gord Brasiker and Pierre Asico.
We'll look at Calle Johansson. Played more games as a defenseman than anyone else in the Washington Capitals organization. He surpassed Rod Langway, big number 5, the captain for many seasons, but Calle Johansson still around, force out there on the power play.
Fans, we invite you to get in on the NHL action with a season or partial ticket plan for Washington Capitals hockey. The best seats, the best price. Call 202-661-5050 or visit our website at www.washingtoncaps.com. The Washington Capitals and Capitals hockey, always intense. Three minutes and 52 seconds to go in the second period, and a scoring change as the Florida Panthers, their last power play goal has now been officially credited to Pavel Bure.
He must be quicker than the eye.
It's news to me.
Well, they want him to do so well this year.
That's got to be a mistake. Am my eyes deceiving me already? We've got 81 more of these.
I said it was Kozlov's goal. They're going to change that.
Nikolishkin drop pass. Black dummies it beautifully. Gonchar whipped it over top of the cage. Nice play by James Black. Sergei Gonchar just inches away there.
And Sergei Gonchar, one of the key guys to step up in the play. And you see what happens. It's very tough to back check the defenseman sneaking in. You've got to be sneaky and hit your spots. Gonchar, obviously, last year with 21 goals, knew how to do that. He did it there, creating a quality chance for the Caps.
Black showed his unselfishness by allowing that pass to come through. Less than 3 minutes to go in the second period. It is 4-2 Florida. Johansson will swing. Words of instruction coming from the Cap goal crease. Ole Kolzig between the pipes, matching up with Sean Burke. Simon rumbling down the wing. Spot check, tied there with Halpern. Dvorak, good speed, motors back to center. Radek Dvorak and the Panthers in front by two. Two teams at even strength. 5 aside. Washington out shooting Florida in this one to this point. 21-17. Dvorak lassoed by Klee. Klee with a gloved hand. You're able to make a hand pass in the defensive zone. He threw it right to Cam Stewart. Back for Klee, who's still without his stick. Apparently broken.
And now without his glove.
Losing a mitten or two. Halpern on the overlap. Sacco and Halpern revving it up. Goes Sacco towards the cage. A bouncing shot easily handled by Sean Burke. Rob Niedermeyer uncontested. Back for the Panthers. Cam Stewart floats it to a corner. Under 2 minutes now. 4-2 Florida. Florida with 2 in the first and 2 here in the second. Washington with a goal in each frame. Simon trying to play catch with Oates. Chris Simon working over Lance Pitlick. Kozlov will tap it. Hennigan will shift it back to neutral ice. Caps completing a line change. Gonchar sending in, looking for Metropolitan, and offsides ahead of the play was Washington's captain, Adam Oates.
Capitals had a breakaway there. They just couldn't thread that pass. There he is, Glenn Metropolitan. What a find for the Capitals. Not very big. Big thing all through his career was, hey, not big enough, can't score, can't skate. Grew up in Toronto, didn't have the financial resources to play AAA hockey, just played A hockey. Went out to BC, played some junior A hockey in the Tier 2 league, then came to the East Coast Hockey League, Joe. Spent a year in Nashville, a year in Pensacola, 2 years in the I in Grand Rapids. Now at 25 years of age, after working out extremely hard this summer, including going over to Finland to work on his skills under the Caps' guidance. He's come in, he's made the club, and he's opened up the eyes of everybody on that coaching staff.
That's right. Metropolitan and another Caps prospect, Mike Siklinka, went over to Helsinki to work out with one of the Finnish elite teams. Lance Pitlick down on the deck covering the puck. Talked about Pitlick's roughhousing and solid defensive ability.
Sort of gets under the Capitals' nails when he was with Ottawa. Took some cheap shots at Peter Bondra.
Well, I remember he rubbed out Bondra 2 seasons ago in the Stanley Cup playoffs when the Caps and the Senators collided in the Eastern Conference semis.
One of the reasons they brought him here is that he was the assistant captain in Ottawa. This team now has 6 NHL guys that have either been a captain or assistant captains of their respective clubs. They thought they were lacking some leadership this year. Obviously, bringing in a locker room guy like Pitlick's going to help that situation. Also coming from Ottawa, a winner.
Another guy who hopes to stay healthy. He missed a boatload of time last year with a hip injury. Ray Whitney hooks off, looks to the deep slot, Kavasha. Kavasha's backhand dealt with there by the defense of Washington, Sergei Gonchar. Svela towards the cage. Kolzig came out to corral. Referee Paul Stewart's going to say that the puck was played with a high stick, and he'll bring play to a halt as we are now under a minute to go in the second with Washington trailing by 2.
Stewie working by himself as we look at Adam Oates. Around the NHL this year, Joe, we saw the 2-referee system for 20 games last year. This year, 50 games per team. We'll see 2 of the Zebras on the ice.
Referee Paul Stewart, with only 1 tonight, that means he'll be huffing and puffing. Got to skate a lot of miles.
How many?
How many would you guess? How many would you guess in a night?
I'd guess about 30 miles.
30 miles?
I'm thinking, I don't know.
That's a lot.
That's
My goodness. That's a lot. Zednik with a bomb from the blue line, and Burke was there with the right pass. 40 seconds to go, second period. Washington trailing by 2. Kozlov to Bure, and now Mellenby angling in on Klee. Klee measures him well. and finishes him off in the corner. Kozlov shake and bake away from Bulis. Victor Kozlov right to the net. Kolzig with a goal stick down. Kozlov, 18 seconds with which to operate. Bure has the defense hung up. Pavel Bure dancing back behind the cage, looking for a cutter. Bure sneaks out, short side drive, held to the post. Oli Kolzig did. Bure, 4 seconds, now 3. Pavel Bure with a stick handling clinic as the second period comes to its conclusion and the fans rise here at the National Car Rental Center. Pavel Bure has obviously answered whether or not his knee is ready to go. Ray Whitney has a pair of goals. Pavel Bure is on the board back in the first period, all part of a 4-goal spree for Florida. It is 4-2 Panthers after 2. This Florida Panthers team opens the 99-2000 season with 3 straight games here at home in Sunrise, Florida. They've got the Los Angeles Kings in town Wednesday night, and then a week from tonight, a visit from the powerful Detroit Red Wings before the Panthers move out to start their road campaign in the NHL. Washington, on the other hand, first 2 games away from MCI Center. Interestingly enough, with the scheduling, they're off for quite a while until Buffalo is the host on Friday, then LA for the home opener on Saturday. Second period, intermission time. Here's Craig Laughlin with Caps assistant coach Tim Army.
And Tim, first of all, I've got a couple of plays. What about your plays so far in this hockey game?
Well, I think we played pretty well, Walker, in stretches, but we've turned the puck over a little bit through the neutral zone. It's kind of cost us, and you do that against a team that's got a pretty good transition game, and it can put you with your backs to the wall.
I've got a little play to show you here. It's the Whitney goal. Can you walk through it from a coach's perspective, what happens here?
Yes, right here, you see we sort of give up the zone, and then we lose our man coming back, and it's sort of plagued us on a couple of goals tonight where we've given up inside position to their forward going to the net. They do a good job of sending their forwards to the net, making those goal mouth kind of passes. We've got to stay inside their people and get the job done going back towards our net.
Now, that was a negative. How about the positive of that period? The power play looked pretty slick there with Calle Johansson's goal.
Yeah, we did a good job. We won a battle on the boards. We tripled up on the puck. Nico made a great play right here, as you can see, to Calle. And what we've been stressing throughout training camp is getting the puck to the net. You see Calle put it through, and Yogi does the job with the way the rules are now. You get some traffic in front of the net, you can slide through the crease, and it obviously obstructed Burke's vision on the shot.
Turbo, thanks a bunch for being with us here on HTS.
Okay, Locker.
All right, Timmy Army joining us after 2. The Caps trail by 1. We'll take a look at the highlights right after this when we return to Caps Hockey on Home Team Sports.